The root of evil is greed. Greed to have folks doing some crazy things.
Okay, welcome back, YouTube. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so that the algorithm of every video can get out to those who need the messages. Okay, it's highly important that we all participate in helping these messages go out, because a lot of people have been praying night and day for these messages, for what has been taking place in their lives, and that is constantly still happening. Because remember, these witches and warlocks are going to keep trying you. They're going to keep trying you. And if you have lack of knowledge, that is when you're going to get destroyed. Okay? That's why the Most High, He constantly give you wisdom so that you can rise above all this BS. Okay? So we're still on the second part of this witch mother who has been training their son and their daughter to steal from other bloodlines their inheritance and steal their identity so that they can receive everything that this divine royal bloodline has supposed to receive, with the leftover things that their descendants had passed on to them. This may be your case. This witch was so happy. I'm talking about celebration. I'm talking about like popping bottles off the fact that they feel like they sealed the deal, because they had already entrapped your so-called spouse, which was not. We already had reinstated that that was your karmic ex from the past. Now, this person kept seeking you because you guys had a past contract, and that's all they know is you. And they've been crying out to you because they were known of you from a past life. You were like their wife, you were like their husband, and you whatever. I don't know how many lives you had with this person, but this person has you in their mind 24/7, okay? Because you were like the breath of light to their light. You were like the breath that, in order for them to breathe, they needed to be connected to you. Okay? That's why it was so hard for you guys to even get rid of this person. You know? You was like, you were praying night and day to God. When are you gonna answer my prayers according to this person? I don't like this person. I don't want this person. I outgrown this person. I'm not on the same level with this person, spiritually, mentally, physically. I don't have an urge to even do anything with this person. Okay? So when is it going to be an end of contract? And that's what you've been clearing out. And you did. There is no contract with this person ever. You ended that contract. That cord has been cut, ma'am, sir. But see, this information was not given to these witches. You know, they just believe in every practitioner they go to. They believe in every witch that they go get readings from, and they can lie to them. Some readers are all about money. They're not really acceptable to telling them the truth, especially if they feel and they read them as they being desperate. They really gonna play with them, right? So this witch mother really thought that was your spouse, right? So after the initiation with them binding to their son and daughter, remember, there was a ritual and spell that has been casted on this person when they slept with their son and daughter, which now they contracted a STD, a spiritual transmitted disease. Now, what has happened is they now are binded to this cult family through a spiritual bind of transmitted disease. All right. So this witch was pouncing up and down and popping bottles because she felt that this person was still going to try to connect themselves to you because of the contract that supposedly they thought that you guys had together, being that's supposed to be your partner, right? This witch had paid gang stalkers around the clock to watch you, to try to stalk you, to see when this person's coming, and if you would allow this person to even come back in your life, and if you guys are going to intimate some type of way so that they can seal this deal with you as well, so that this transmitted disease connect to you, so that you can be bound to their covenant through spiritually, so that they can siphon your energy and take your heritage and take your frequency and just take everything that's supposed to be for you, and also take your identity and use a clone as you and block and block you from existing, because they could do that as well. Once you connect with a demon of somewhat through the spirit, they can swap destinies with you. It's exactly how you see a bunch of homeless people out here who that had businesses. I'm talking about that was doctors, that was lawyers, that were high domain and honorable jobs. And you see that they're on the street and they're kind of like bugged out through, taking drugs to try to cope to what happened to them. Them occultic bloodlines, they've been doing this for years, and people been trying to figure out, how is this even happening? Like, how is this such a thing? It's because it's done spiritually. I don't understand when you guys are mating with people. I'm talking about like intercourse with people. You not know that there is a contract, there is a legal bind that you're setting yourself up for. There's rituals, there's spells, castings, there's altars that are taking place at that moment when you are connecting yourself. You're having intercourse with another being, because there's other spirits that are tied to that person. That's what makes them illegally bound to whatever that bound them. And what they do is they trap them, and then they send them out to connect to other targets, and then they bind them to the family, and then they go send this person out, and they try to connect this person to another person so that they can bind them to the cultic bloodline, so that they can siphon as much energy on divine beings as possible, because we have the energy that they need to stay alive.
The root of evil is greed. Greed to have folks doing some crazy things.